Okay, we have time for a few questions. Yes, Ms. Bob?
Hi, afternoon, Bob Reyes, Bob Reyes.com. You mentioned that you develop your own software. Are there specific functionalities or features of your operations that would require you development of your own software rather than subscribing or purchasing it off the shelf?
Thanks for your question, Tom. The one that we internally developed is something that we use for all of our projects. But then again, I mentioned earlier that if there are other apps or readily available technology in the market that can complement what we're currently using, we're open to that. So, but currently, I think we're happy with what we internally develop, and developing a tool like that takes a lot of months. So, given our current volume and pipeline of projects, I don't think currently we have the latitude or the bandwidth to develop something similar.
Yeah, just a follow-up. So we know that developing your own software takes some time and just a learning curve for people. What are the biggest challenges in your company when it comes to adopting new technology? And how do you overcome those challenges?
Well, of course, when we launched it, there was a little bit of resistance, especially from the older members who are used to doing things their way. But of course, at first we have to educate them about the advantages. That eventually, if they use the available tool, they'll be able to be more productive. They'll be able to produce their deliverables faster and in a more efficient manner. So, as any other utilization or use of technology, you're going to face resistance initially. But it's all about educating them and telling them that this is what the company needs or people.
Thank you for the question, Bob. Anybody else? Yes.
Good afternoon, I'm Rosel Panatong, storyteller online. I've noticed that JCVA has handled residential projects before low-rise and mid-rise. But I noticed in your project pipeline for 2025, residential projects are not part of the top 6. Is it because the residential project, this master plan, communities do not have that high potential?
Well, we didn't put it there because we call it our business as usual already. So we're already strong in some sectors, so residential is one of them. But we still see a lot of opportunities in the residential sector, not just condominiums. In fact, we're managing standalone high-end projects for high net worth individuals.
Yes, Rory.
Good afternoon, my name is Rory from JCVA. You mentioned a while ago that the construction industry is sort of a laggard in terms of digitization or automation of its processes. Hypothetically speaking, since the government is into digitalization of its operation for public service, if in case you are approached by, say, the DPWH, what would be your initial recommendations in terms of automation in the Philippine construction industry or public works industry in the Philippines? And initial recommendations in terms of improving the construction industry in the Philippines and public works.
Thanks, Rory. That's actually a very difficult question. I mean, first of all, I don't think digitization is a problem of DPW. I mean, I have to answer your question, that I don't think digitization is a problem of DPW. I mean, we know what the problem of DPWH is. But it will definitely help the public works if they were to digitalize the processes. However, I don't know how to put this. There's actually a reason why they're not digital. I mean, we know that a lot of our government offices are not digitizing for reasons that we already know. But definitely, if they use the technology, technologies that they're using, that will definitely help DPWH carry out their projects.
It's a problem. Follow-up lang po. With all the disturbing weather circumstances that's happening in the country, particularly the parade of typhoons recently, is there any game-changing trend or technology or construction innovation that would address the difficulties being experienced by people, especially in the residential areas, with regard to dealing with these typhoons? I watched a budget hearing in the Senate for the DPWH, and many of them are recommending high-rise platforms for buildings, especially for children in schools. What can you say about it? In consideration of the weather, the typhoon, the floods, and everything.
I think I chance upon a company that specializes in predictive analytics. So they're into climate change, so they want to forecast more accurately typhoons that are coming to the country. So that's one. Number two is, I think the projects are there. I mean, annually there's a sizable budget allotted for flood control and similar projects. The issue actually is the implementation. Right? I read on the news, we spent multi-billion peso project on flood control, but what happens? I mean, unfortunately, it's something that our company cannot solve. Yeah.
Thank you for that question, Rory. Yes. May I ask a question?
One question. You mentioned previously earlier that the pandemic has been like a pivotal event for JCVA. To what do you attribute the growth you're experiencing right now? And you mentioned that you went all in, so what areas did you heavily invest in now?
Three things. People. So, before pandemic, our organization was very big. So, our advantage was that we were able to build a company from the ground up. So, we were able to hire the right people, like Edmund. And then, that's one, people. And then process. So, during the pandemic, we laid the groundwork to pursue ISO certification. So, 9,001 and 35,001. And I think by next year, we will triple ISO certified. And then technology, the technology that we show. So three things: people, process, and technology.
I'm Beatrice from Business World. I just wanted to clarify, sir, your outlook. You mentioned earlier you expect 50 to 60% growth next year. Is this in terms of revenues and also that one, and also just to clarify also, since you mentioned that residential is part of your business as usual. So what is your outlook for housing? Do you expect increasing demand for housing projects, and what are the other drivers?
Thank you for that question. To answer your first question, yes, we're very optimistic. I mean, we have a very hard-working business development team. They're actually over there. So they constantly source clients for our company. So we actually have a very strong pipeline for next year. So that's our target in terms of revenue and headcount to go both our revenue and headcount by 50 to 60%. then your question on residential. We know already that the middle scale market, there's a glut or an oversupply of units. So developers are actually tempered their plans to develop more condominiums next year. But for the horizontal development, the demand is still strong for horizontal developments. For condo, the luxury and upscale market is very resilient because the buyers for those sectors quite, we would say, price insensitive.
Yes, yeah. Yes, your question.
Here you also mentioned already that half of your
Yes, in terms of order book, yes. So it's just a matter of realizing when those revenue can come in by next year.
Okay. Thank you for that question, Bea. We have time for one more question. Yes?
Are there plans to expand into the overseas market?
Yes. Actually, there are already foreign clients approaching us for possible partnership or investment. But we'll entertain them in due time.
Do you have a time frame?
3 years.
It's always a good thing to happen, right? Sooner than later. You have a question also from the Philippines.
So I just wanted to ask, for example, for people who have actually no idea when it comes to digitization. When it comes to digitization, in terms of the say costing, for those who are interested in taking on, say, a project and putting on digitization in terms of the process, like all the technology that you mentioned. In terms of cost, for those who don't know, is there it's an average or an average in terms of how you explain it cost-wise for those who want to be curious about using technology?
Ideally, you should always set aside a portion of your revenue or profit in R&D. So, or R&D focusing on technology. Always remember, tech is an investment. You don't look at it as an expense. In 2021, we've allocated actually 30% of our revenue in tech and because we moved into our new office 3 years ago. So actually we bulk or almost all of our profit that year we invested in systems.
Thank you for that question, ma'am. I think that's all the time that we have for questions this afternoon. So once again, our friends from the media, thank you for those for your participation. But before we move on, we would like to ask Pam to